First up is Jurassic Park on the NES from 1993, and yes, that is 8 years after the NES was released in America. This is a top-down shooter where you have to gather eggs in order to collect a proper key card to move on in the level. The game itself is pretty well designed. The music and graphics are decent for the NES, and honestly it should be, seeing how late of a title this is in the NES lifespan. The thing that really sucks about this game are these little mystery boxes right here. They could have a life in them, or an extra man, or even invincibility, but more than likely, they're boxes that explode and kill you. Why would this even be here? Isn't a constant stream of killer dinosaurs enough? Isn't having a limited supply of ammo bad enough? I cannot say how much I really hate these boxes. Now don't get me wrong, this is a great game for the NES. The graphics and music and controls are all fantastic. It's NES hard, but very playable. Next is Jurassic Park on the Super Nintendo. This one is the title that I like the most out of the 5 we'll cover today. And by the way, my copy looks like a raptor chewed it up and spit it out. In this installment, you have a top-down shooter much like the NES, but with enhanced graphics and weapons. The real surprise is when you finally find a building, you're treated to something truly rare on the Super Nintendo, a first-person shooter. This was the first time I had played a first-person shooter, and I was blown away. I sat on my friend's floor, mouth open, trying to wrap my little mind around this. Is this 3D? I thought this was only available on computers. By today's standard, the game isn't that great, but in 1993, it was amazing. This game's pretty cheap nowadays and would fit nicely in any gamer's library. Next is Jurassic Park on the Sega Genesis. This is a side-scroller where you play Grant as you fight your way through the island shooting raptors, triceratops, and humans. The standout in this title isn't the graphics or that awesome Sega sound card. Oh no. At the title screen, you can select either Grant or the raptor. This is awesome! Since a very young boy, I love dinosaurs, and here I get to play one. But even as the raptor, the game's a bit clunky and it's really hard. In Jurassic Park 2 for the Super Nintendo, you return to the island as Grant 1 year after the first game. In this title, you get to select a mission and attempt to complete it. The graphics are pretty good, and the soundtrack is really nice. It plays a little bit like Contra, just not as tight. What I found neat was the way the pathways play out as you explore. Pressing up and down at certain points take you to the next area rather than just running to the right like most action shooters. And to be perfectly honest, I am not good at this game and I die a lot. They give you a ton of weapons to complete your mission, but even so I have trouble with this one. Some of the raptors take way too many shots to kill, so if you have the wrong weapon, they will get you. I say try this one out at your own risk. You may break a controller by the end of it all. Last up on the island tour is The Lost World for the PlayStation. This game was an early 3D game, but now we could refer to it as a 2.5D game. In this title, you not only get to play as the human hunter here, but you also get to play a ton of beasties, like the little compy. Poor little guy. Or you get to be the raptor hunting the humans. Haha, revenge. Or my favorite, the T-Rex. Nom nom nom. How cool is that? You can also play as a human prey named Sarah as you flee the island, but I can't make it that far. That brings us to the downside. There's no save feature, just a password system. This one is pretty hard, but if you're a fan of Jurassic Park like me, it's worth a few tries.